Well, he alluded to Haulover Beach, and I knew that, I think in 1943, my grandfathers and others had the first ever weigh-in in the United States, and it was in Haulover Beach. And my grandfather came from South Carolina, where he was run out of South Carolina by the Klan. And they did a weigh-in in Haulover Beach until the police came and told them they could no longer be there. So we ended up going to Virginia Key Beach, right? Virginia Key Beach has very strong currents there. This is the beach they gave us. We lost so many children and kids to the bad currents in Virginia Key Beach. On the corner of that area is a water and sewer treatment plant. So we swim in currents that are going to perhaps kill us, and bad water, okay, that we're playing in, okay? So these are the kind of things that we had to make do of. My mom was a teacher, and at that time, black teachers made exactly half of what white teachers made. So how are we going to make a living, okay, on half the salary? Our books, most of our books were not new. They had stamps in them from other schools, okay? We got secondhand books. And even now, let's fast forward to 2022, where our governor doesn't want us to learn about slavery and things like that, okay? And so so these things are still happening in different ways. And how are you going to tell me that we don't want my daughter or whatever to know about the horrible things that we did, but at the same time, there's voter suppression, okay? Some of the first marches in this city were to the courthouse for people wanting to vote. And I would say one of the best things about this community and Judge Thomas is the support he had from other people. People supported him in what he did, okay? He can go to churches and speak. He can go to the community for support. He talked about D.A. Dorsey and his significant contributions to this town. To have a judge, somebody you can come to and believe that there's fairness, is a huge deal. Before that, you was like, I have no chance. You might as well kill me, okay? I have no, people would say, I want to have the mercy of the court. What is that, okay? And before you have people to look like you just really there just hoping that the worst doesn't happen to me, okay? And in this town, from what I remember seeing, I had so much fun here. And our leaders at that time would do things to make sure children were safe, children had good schools, et cetera, et cetera. And the fact that you can have a judge that you can come to or have a judge visit schools or visit churches, that's hope, okay? There's no price for hope, okay? And we talked about this place being opened in 1950. In 1951, when they had the Groveland 4 case, for example, those guys were falsely accused of raping a white woman, which they did not do, okay? Thurgood Marshall came here to raise money. He came to Mount Zion Baptist Church. And my grandfather went to the City of Miami Police Department, talked to the police chief and the commission to provide protection for those people who were coming to Mount Zion on December 13th, 1951, to raise money for representing Thurgood Marshall and NAACP representing the Groveland 4. 2 weeks later, Harry P. Moore, one of the executive directors of the NAACP, his house was bombed. He died, his wife died later. So these are the kind of conditions that you had to work against. And so when you saw somebody like Judge Thomas, you saw fairness, okay? We still have a cross at my house now that they burned in my grandfather's house because just being a civil rights leader. And what they would call a house. And back in those days, they did bomb little children. They didn't care, okay? I don't know how many death threats he got, okay? He being Judge Thomas, for doing what he thought was right, okay? when you stood up as a person like him, you wanted to know that when you look back, it was other people behind you. And he had people, particularly in this community, behind him. And I think that is so important, as opposed to if I ask you today, if something happened over town, you, D.C. Clark, who's been a part of this for a youngster like me, so which names would you call today? Back then, there were so many names, so many people, doctors, dentists, teachers, pastors, from different walks of life. Overtown is so much different. And you asked me about urban renewal. That's what urban renewal did for us. It made our communities worse. It made our communities scattered, okay? And so I'm so thankful for people like him, okay? Other people in this community who did so much, and we all rallied around each other, okay? And it's so, in the sector of law enforcement, judicial circuits, had it not been for him, I don't know. It's crazy enough as it is now, okay? And things are supposed to be much better, and I'm going to say on some fronts, it probably is. We have access to more places, but it's because of people like him, because of people like Father Comer, because of people like Father Gibson, because of people like D.A. Dorsey, because of people like Reverend Graham and so many pastors and Dr. Simpson, so many people that can. Dr. Simpson was my doctor. Was your doctor too? Okay. These people, Dr. Shirley, these people followed Dr. King around. Okay. And it was great, but there were some scary moments also. Okay, because it seemed to be different set of rules for Black America and different set of rules for white America. Okay. And a lot of times they were not punished for things that they did to us. And so we were at the mercy of majority America.